Hello everyone, you're here with Tasemi and we're gonna do another episode of Templar builds. This is gonna be the basic build that does everything, that's well rounded and has basically can be adapted to focus on a different area if needed, but currently does everything. That's how I like it, and yeah, it's my version of the tier 3 build Templar. We got the stats first, so 70 strength, we're reaching the 200 defense bonus, and that's all we need. We don't have any dexterity, we don't have the points for that. We don't have much wisdom, but we get the debuff duration and the cooldown speed. Those are core for our build. Then we're moving on to perception. And of course this is our core stat, and we're trying to stack as much buff duration as we can, and the other stuff it offers is good as well. So we got 80 fortitude, that's our heavy attack evasion focus really, that's the sweet spot for fortitude. Fortitude's a rare stat, so you're going to see how we've adapted the build to get enough of that. So we got the heroic SNS with the Daigon passive, and of course we have buff duration. Now I've changed the additional stats to buff duration and fortitude because we need those to reach the breakpoints for the build. And then we got buff duration trait and collision chance because we need to push people around. And of course, I've changed the main heroic trait to fortitude. It used to be perception in the previous build, and that was necessary. There's no way around it. There's no way to stack enough fortitude and be efficient if we don't change it. So then the next thing is we're getting the Tevent Wand. Tevent Wand has more damage, more range, lots of cooldown speed, critical hit chance, and it has the passive, which has been buffed. It's a curse, and it's been buffed to grant 100% extra damage to mobs, which is excellent, but also it removes 10% of the defense of the enemy, but it removes melee and magic defense, and because we do a lot of melee and magic damage, this is the best wand we can use. And also because it will increase the Daigon damage as well, so basically the SNS damage we do, the Tevent Wand will increase that by 10%. Because it removes 10%, let's say of 3000 defense, yeah, you get 300 defense out just with that curse, which is unbelievable, really. So then we move on to the usual Predator set, which is a tier 2 set, critical damage reduction and shield block, 18% shield block. There's nothing better on the market. Then we take the Shroud of the Prophet, which allows us to stack heavy attack evasion and even weaken resistance stuff, but I only take it for the heavy attack evasion. The other stuff's a bonus. Nothing else to see here with this cloak. Then we have the remainder of the Royal Praetor set. I got the gloves, the armor, but the armor gives us stamina regen, very important, damage reduction, critical hit chance. Then we have some attack speed on the hands, which is very, very useful because we want to cast skills fast. And then we got the heroic pants, which give us a lot of damage reduction, which is crucial to our build, a lot of defense and buff duration, which is crucial, and 2 stacks of heavy attack evasion, plus lots of stats, perception, fortitude, the stuff we focus on really. So we got a lot of stats on these pants, and they're cheap to trade. So then we got the boots, they give us a lot of movement speed, which is very important for the build too. So not much to see there though. Magic endurance, resonance. So then we're looking at this necklace of exceptional greed. This is a nebula item. It costs a lot. It costs between 10 and 20k Lucent, but it has all the good traits: buff duration, collision chance, skill damage resist, and yeah, we're trying to get as much collision chance as we can. We get the 7% critical damage resistance runes, and the runes, I got the chaos runes. I only put the ones in the build that I actually own. So these you can adapt based on what you have, and I will change them up when I get new stuff too. And then we got the necklace of the underworld, which is a cheaper alternative to this necklace, and you can take it as a starter item if you need to replace the tier 2. And we're going to do that for the cloak as well. So the cloak, it's not that one I'm looking at. I want this one. This one is very expensive. 180 Cordy pieces, I think, and it has damage reduction and skill defense, skill resist, but I don't have I'm not gonna get it anytime soon, so realistically the other one's fine. And the alternative ones are Lucian's wand. This one can be useful if you're running PvP and you want to deal with healers, and Codex of the Deep Secrets T2 wand. This one is a cheap alternative to Tevent, and I would recommend it. And then Bracelet of the Radiant Chain. So if you watch my other video, I got it live on the video, and it's an expensive item between 10 and 20k Lucent. Has all the right things, collision resistance, and yeah, it has a lot of stats and lots of endurance, so this is part of the build. But there's two alternatives that are cheaper that you can look at. So one is Prayer Beads of the Immortal. It's decent, you can get that for 100 Lucent, or you can get Volcanic Glass Bracelet, whatever you prefer, health and endurance, or a bit of cooldown speed and mana efficiency. I would say health and endurance is more important. But then we got Fortified Band of the Resistant Leaders. Tier 2 Nebula Ring, nothing better than that. I got it for 1500 Lucent. It's very good. I'm gonna use it for a while, until we get another heavy attack evasion ring. And if you don't like PvP, you could get two of these. You could get the normal version of this and the fortified version. They can be equipped together. And now we have the Coil of Corruption. You can get that for the awesome 208 evasion, heavy attack evasion, plus fortitude, which is excellent, even without the other stuff. And you got the heavy attack damage resistance trait, which is excellent. I mean, nothing more could be said about that. 9% of that, no, 3%. You only need 3000 points from the battlefield to get that ring, so it's good. Then you got the Earrings of the Two Moons. The main thing about those is they give you lots of stats, and they give you heavy attack evasion from the front, which is when you're doing PvP, you're gonna try and face them. So you just the right stats for strength and perception, not many of those. And then we have the belt, which has damage reduction, fortitude, which is very important, and it has the heavy attack evasion trait twice. So, and then we have another 16 points in wisdom and perception. So yeah, the collision resistance, all we need, debuff duration, and then damage reduction on the runes and critical damage resist. So then we use this food for now. 3% buff duration, no contest, and the bonus damage always good. Plus we use this food, which is very expensive, endurance and critical damage resist, very nice. 300 health, we're lacking health, so we're taking that. Then we're using stamina regen and max stamina. We run out of stamina a lot, we need this. And this is the best food for that slot. It's just 2.5 healing and 4% mana efficiency is fine. The healing alone is why I'm getting it, really. So we're gonna spend a bit of time on these skills here. The skills you swap. If you want PvP and survivability, you take the Q from the SNS, and if you want, which is the shield survival technique, if you want to take more mobs and do more curse damage, you take the wand Q. And of course, we're gonna look at the specializations. We're taking all the specializations apart from the ones for aggro, for shield strike, and it's the same for shield throw. We're taking everything apart from the aggro one. And of course, Touch of Despair has 3. We're taking all 3. We're taking Shot at Victory, we're upgrading it full. Curse Explosion, very important to take the middle trait because of it gives us synergy with Touch of Despair. Corrupted Magic Circle, we have to take this. If you use Deeper Secrets Wand, you don't need that, but for Tevent you need your Rotten Marsh specialization. We got Counter Barrier traits, 2 out of 3. We got Immortal Pride to give us defense. We got triple Swift Healing. We got the shield throw stuff. We got the Blessed Barrier extension of the duration. Yeah, those are the specializations. They are all very useful. Each of them synergizes with something in the build. So Annihilation Blade gives us a lot of SNS damage. Touch of Despair gives us a lot of curse damage. Corrupted Marsh allows us to apply to explode the curse and then have it the zone of the curse applies it immediately again, so twice per rotation you can use that. Shield Throw is a core skill for Daigon damage, SNS damage. All the collision skills we have trigger buffs. Of course, Spectrum of Agony. Morale Boost. Morale Boost is to reduce our cooldowns. Spectrum of Agony is to give us damage on hit. And yeah, this is to survive big groups of mobs. This gives us a lot of anti-crowd control capabilities. This gives us damage and healing. This gives us infinite mana. It's absolutely necessary if you run out of mana. And Vampiric Contract is heal from damage, and we do a lot of damage. Aegis Shield is necessary to reduce damage, and you can use these depending on what content you're doing. So if you're killing a lot of mobs, you can use this. and Saint's Oath can be useful for healing if you need it, or convert it to damage with the mastery, and Right's Beacon is very good for damage of curses. So you can swap these around depending, like if the mobs or enemies don't have crowd control, just slot these in. Take Gerald's Patience out. And Ray of Disaster is excellent for single target damage of bosses, for example, and Time for Punishment is good to reduce skill damage resist, and Provoking Roar is good for PvP versus healers and stuff, and Tower Bastion is good if you need to run a bit faster, 10% speed buff, and Fountain of Life is good to heal the party if you're in a group and stuff. So everything can be switched around a bit depending on what you need to do. Okay, so now we're looking at the masteries, and we're going to look at the overall masteries first. So the first one is very important. Windy Veil, we got max perception, then buff duration one's very important, CC resist very important, and the last one is you can adapt at will. Deadly Viper is good for the additional damage. Overcoming Pain is good to get critical hit because we're lacking a bit of that, and for PvE Deadly Viper is good. You can explode an extra curse and do a lot of poison damage and stuff. So yeah, you can adapt to the last one. Then it's very good to enhance your counter barrier with this 15 extra DR, resists and reduces the damage a bit. And you can see the critical damage traits and the shield block traits, those are the key ones. And of course Gerard's Resilience is adding a lot of debuff duration to your crowd control resist passive. And the damage passives, you can see each of them. I'll explain more in detail in the other video where we're doing practical examples of these damage skills, but you got two of them that give you SNS damage bonus. Bulwark Stance gives you more defense. These two traits give you additional stat points, so they're very important to get. And essentially we got one skills as well, the Abyssal Burst, and several other that help curse damage and damage over time. These three do exactly that and reduce your healing a bit, but fine. And then Shadow Oath is very good if you need more damage. Malicious Focus can be used if you're single target, if you're doing single target fights. Blessed Haste is good for your healing, it's mandatory. And if you're using Enchanting Time, you take Spectral Defense. And of course these two are mandatory because they improve one of your most important passives. And Corrupting Hit is very important for single target damage too, because it adds a lot of curse damage and debuffs to the enemy. And you're attacking quite fast with this SNS and Wand. So now we're going to the artifacts. Of course we're using the Dark Sovereign artifact, that's the best one, damage reduction and the shield buff chance and shield damage reduction, there's nothing better. And of course we're taking the usual stats. They are endurance, heavy attack evasion. Of course we got 2000, one of the passives gives you 2000 shield, 2000 health shield, and then it gives you CC resist, the active one. So all around very good set. Then we're looking at CC resist and collision resistance, which is attacking the most important stuff. Heavy attack evasion, all of it. Healing, CC resist, healing receipt. This is all we do, healing, CC chance and collision chance. We want to apply collision to get more damage, that's why we're doing it. And then we got, here you can take either heavy attack chance or critical hit, and max damage and bonus damage. But maybe heavy attack, because we got a lot of heavy attack, and for PvP crit it's very low for us. So now we're going to move on and see the other stuff. So you can see that we got 67% unbuffed shield block chance. That increases with counter barrier and with 18% by the set. We got a bit of attack speed, 25-26%. We got bonus damage from somewhere on the food, and a bit of species damage boost for PvE, very good. And of course we got a little bit of crit and a little bit of heavy attack chance, but most of our heavy attack chance, as if you see the other build, the other video where I practically explained the build, you're gonna find out where we get those. We got a bit of a bit of hit chance, not a lot, and a lot of damage reduction, a lot of defense, and that's unbuffed. Lots of endurance, well it's about 2k endurance of each, but with Blessed Barrier is about 3k, 2.5k, and we reduce crit by 300 from the SNS shield strike. Magic heavy attack evasion, we got a lot of heavy attack evasion, but you can see it depends what you're facing, you're gonna adapt which type you want to focus on. Critical damage resistance mandatory 78%, heavy attack damage resist. We got 10% of that from the ring and from the cloak. I think it's good to have a bit. And of course we got 26k health, which I think it takes into account the armor bonus that we had from the type of armor you wear. We got lots of, we got low mana really, and our mana regen is not great. Movement speed we got a bit, stamina again we got a bit, and yeah, so skill damage boost is a bit low, but we get 150 at all times from one of the passives, so that evens it out. And from we got a lot of cooldown speed, we got a lot of healing received, and buff duration. With the overall passive, we achieve about 135% buff duration. Out of the cap is 150. We got 303. I mean, 33 the buff duration. That's very good. That saves you from curse damage and all kinds of debuffs. Skill damage resist is 350, 370. It's not that much. If we get the other cloak, we do better. Collision resist is sort of high with all the bonuses, so about 1,600, maybe a bit more. And collision chances around 1,500 with everything. So we got decent things, but let's think about the things that are not shown. We got 200 heavy attack evasion that is from the ring, that's only for PvP, so that's one. And then two, we got about 160 heavy attack evasion from the front. So not what it's not everything that you see, you know, on the two tips. Some of these are conditional. And yeah, you got extra CC chance here, and so this is I think a very well balanced build to do everything. But the thing is, you're gonna be able to heal, do damage, and take a lot of damage yourself. But you're gonna be you're not gonna be very slow, but you're not gonna be very fast. So essentially, you can do everything, but not the best at everything. You're not gonna be the best at every single thing, but in combination, being mediocre at these things, the combination is great. You become great just with the combination of these mediocre, well-selected capabilities. You reduce damage a lot, you heal yourself, you do a lot of damage. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, subscribe, share, and leave me a comment. And of course, have a look at the other videos, because this video is only theory. I'm also making separate videos for the damage part of the build and for the defense part of the build. Those will be practical with examples and explanations that I cannot include in a Questlog video. So have a good day. Bye.